Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So today is kind of cool. We're going to be reviewing some toy excavators and dump trucks. So first off, we've got this is the HUINA Toys excavator, and it's a 15 channel excavator. So it's got all these kinds of articulated movements, and also it's saying super die cast on the front. So what that tells me is some of it is die cast metal. So we're going to see what exactly is die cast metal. And these ones are full radio control, so they're wireless, 2.4 gigahertz, and so you can control them without a wire connected. So this is going to be kind of cool. Not only are we going to be unboxing, inspecting, setting up, and going ahead and doing kind of a drive excavation test with this one, I'm also going to be doing this one too. So this is a dump truck. This is like from the same company. It's a little bit smaller, but it is a die cast dump truck. That is a 6-channel dump truck. So I'd imagine we can lift the bed and drive it around. And so what I'll be probably doing is getting one of my kids to kind of help me and control one of these, like the dump truck, while I control the excavator, and we'll do kind of a yard work zone with these guys just to see how they perform. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and unbox the dump truck first. I'm going to start with the dump truck, and then we'll get right to the excavator, because this is going to be the fun guy. This has all these kinds of articulated movements, and that's going to be pretty awesome to see how it works. I think the dump truck's going to be cool, but rather basic, so it should go pretty quick. Okay, so just opening one side. Let's see if we can slide this guy out. There we go. So here we go. There it is. All right, let's see how difficult it is to kind of take it off of its mount here. Looks like I need to get a little screwdriver. And it does look like we're going to be unscrewing these two on the bottom, and then there's actually 2 screws holding in the controller on this side. So let's go ahead and get these opened up. Okay, so dump truck's off. Cool, so controller's off, and then there's actually one more little box in here, and I'm assuming this box is going to be, like some of the peripherals, like the charger and stuff. So let's go ahead and pull this box out, see what's in it. Yeah, so there's actually just nothing else in there except this little USB charger, which has a little proprietary connector on the end. So that's it. So the truck, the remote controller, and a little charger in the box. Okay, so taking a look at the controller, it looks like it's kind of a game stick style controller. I can't go left to right on either of these sticks. I only can go forward and back on this one and this one. And then there's a up and down button here, which these look like they're going to be probably the bucket here, the dump truck bucket, to make it go up and down. And there's just an on-off switch. Very simple. This isn't going to be like a long range type of deal, just going to want to have it kind of close to you while you're doing excavation. It looks like the back of the controller is going to require a screwdriver to initially open up, but it does look like it latches good, so we won't have to put that screw back in if we don't want to. 2 AA's in the controller. So let's take a look at this dump truck. So, what's die cast on this? Let me see here. Not really feeling anything die cast. Maybe something internal is die cast, but I honestly cannot say on the outside anything that's die cast. I am seeing right out of the box this thing is on, so hopefully that battery can be charged. So I'm going to turn that off real quick. Now let's see what's under here. So it looks like there is a screw on the bottom for what seemingly is the battery tray. Okay, there we go. So this looks like a lithium ion, 4 cell, 4.8 volt, 400 mAh. Oh, actually, no, it's a NiCad. So these are NiCad AA's rechargeables. We can just go ahead and snap it in. And so we shouldn't really have to put that screw back in if we don't want to. It looks like it's going to be tough to open up. But anyway, that's it. So very basic. It looks like it's going to be a tank style control, where probably this side is just going to make the right wheels spin forward, and then this side is going to make the left wheels spin forward and back. So you're going to probably be turning like a tank, I'm assuming, but we'll check that out in just a second. So we have a little pretty, accurate looking truck here. Those large dump trucks from like a mine or something. where you have the little driver's seat here, and then you have the railings along the side, and you got the big tires. These are actually rubber tires. I thought they were going to maybe be like a hard plastic, but they're actually rubberish, kind of a hard rubber. Do have some flex to them. And that's about it. Everything is plastic. I don't see any die cast in here. I guess it didn't really matter if the switch was on because the battery was unplugged anyway. But there's the bed of the truck. So, you know, there's my hand. It's pretty much a hand size, adult hand size bed. And there we go. So let's go ahead and unbox the excavator, and then we'll put batteries in both of these things and just try to give them a little run through and a test. Opening up one side of it. Looks like we got this little thumb holder here to help us pull it out. Wow, there we go. So that's it, nothing else in that big box. And there it is in the box. So cool looking excavator. It's feeling pretty heavy. I'm going ahead and lifting this thing up, and it's feeling like maybe around 5 to 6, maybe even 7 or 8 pounds. So interesting. Not sure what's die cast on it. Maybe it's just the look of it is die cast. So let me go ahead and take these things off here on the back and get this thing out of the box. Looks like on the back here we can see that we have the same kind of charger. So we've got that same little USB charger on this one. Okay, so this one's got those little metal zip ties, or twist ties actually, on the back. So once we undo those, we should be able to just pull this whole thing out of here. Wow, cool, there it is. Okay, that's everything in the box. And it looks like this controller also has a little screw on the back. So we'll undo that screw and probably never have to put that in again. And the zip tie on this one, they make go through all the way through the back of the controller battery tray, battery cover. And then we've got 2 AA's on this one as well. So let's see what this controller is all about. So this controller is very similar. It's only got up and down on the left and right stick, but this one actually has triggers on the top, and it has a few more buttons in the middle. And this one looks like it's either going to be lights or sounds here, and then this one looks like it's going to bring the arm down, bring the arm up. I'm not sure what this one has, a wrench and a screwdriver. And then this one here, we'll have to be testing all these buttons out, and here's the on-off switch. Oh, and there's also these 2 buttons here, so we'll be figuring out what all these do when we put batteries in it in just a second. I'm already feeling rubber, kind of a hard rubber on the tracks. So these are hard rubber tracks here, and I'm trying to feel what is die cast. This all does feel like plastic, so I'm not feeling any die cast. So I don't know what they're talking about. Okay, that's die cast. So the actual bucket on this thing is a die cast metal. So that's cool. So this will last a while. We're digging in the dirt and the rocks. Cool, so there it is. We can see the arm here. Looks like it's got these, you know, imitation hydraulic hoses here. Here's a hydraulic piston, which is just there, just for simulation, but it's actually being driven by these gears here. So you can see that little gear in the top. So that's a gear there, and then there's gears here in the back of the bottom. I can see a gear there kind of sticking out a little bit. But pretty cool. It looks pretty real. It looks like it's going to pivot here on the base as well. So we're going to have, you know, multiple degrees of articulation. We're going to have the bucket. We're going to have this point here. We're going to have this point here. And then we're also going to have it rotating around, hopefully 360 degrees around the tracks, and also driving on the tracks. So pretty cool. Doesn't seem like you can open the door here to put a figure in. That would have been cool if you could open the door to put a figure, but it does look like it's fully sealed and enclosed. There may be a way to pop this whole thing off here and get in there and put a figure in, but I'm not easily seeing how to pop that off. So let's see where we can access the battery on this thing. It looks like it's the back engine area, and it's just got this little rotating clip, and we can pull this whole engine cover off, and there is our battery. So a little bit bigger battery. It looks like it has like 2 more cells. This is a 7.2 volt NiCad battery, still 400 mAh. It's just a little higher voltage. So real easy to switch out the battery in this one. Cool, guys. So let me go ahead and put some batteries in these guys, and we'll just do a quick test on the table, just so we can get a close-up view of how it's working. And then we'll take it out in the yard and do some digging in the dirt. Turning on after we plugged in. Let's go ahead and turn the controller on. Wow, okay, there, we're already working. Okay, so it looks like this side, yeah, I think I was kind of right. So it looks like the right stick is going to turn the 2 right wheels. Let's go ahead and just, let me pull this up so you can see that. So you see the 2 right wheels are turning when I push up the right stick, and only the right light in front is lighting. I pull back, and the light really isn't lighting, it's just the tires are rotating the opposite way. And then same goes for the other side. When I do the left stick, you can see those left wheels turning, going forward and back. So pushing up on the right will be the left turn, forward and back. Left will be the right turn, forward and back, and then both forward will be going straight forward and straight back. Cool. And then the only other thing we can do with this one is lift up and down the bucket. Look at that. Oh, so it just keeps going. So you need to let off when it reaches the top. So it's kind of the same thing. Each button kind of does the same thing. See how we're going up, and then you would just let off when you want to max it out. You can keep holding it to bring it back down. And then the other button sounds like it's maybe turning the motor the other way, but it's doing the same thing. See how it's a little more noisy? But they're basically doing the same thing. Cool. So that's the truck there, dump truck. Let's switch over to the excavator. So let's turn it on. So the switch on the bottom, we're just going to turn it on. And listen to that, turning on the controller. So did you hear that? So the controller, let me go ahead and, there. So that turns off the sound. So you could hear some beeping when you finish turning on the controller. And that kind of indicates this thing is on and ready to go. So I'd imagine it's the same with the stick. So pushing the right stick forward, you see the right wheels turning like a tank. Left and right, same with the left. Both forward. Nice. Sounds like it's got 2 motors, one for each track. So you're going to be controlling it just like a tank. And then let's see what else. So let's see what these triggers do. Right trigger. Ooh, cool. So it's rotating the whole thing. So look at that. Awesome. So it looks like we can go 360 degrees around in a circle, as far as I can see. So that's going to be awesome. And what else can we do here? So these buttons here, let's see what these little ones do on the bottom. Cool. So that does that articulation here in the middle of the arm. So that's as far as you can go. If you keep pressing it, you can hear that it has kind of a, you know, like a strip mechanism that won't let it go anymore. So you probably don't want to hold that for too long. And then the other way, that's as far as that can go. And then let's see what this one does. That's the bucket. Cool. So arm out. Here's the bucket. Closed. Opened. Very cool. This is awesome. So you press this here, and then it looks like you can kind of program it to do a bunch of functions, and then press it again. See, let me just go forward and back real quick, and then press it again. See how it's going forward and back? And then it stopped its program. So that's pretty neat. You can kind of do an automated demo if you wanted to. That's lifting and lowering the main arm joint. So you see this main arm joint here, right by the driver's seat. That's what that's doing. So pretty cool. Awesome. So I think that's all the functions, guys. Let's go ahead and charge these guys up. Get out there into the yard, into the dirt, and start digging. I'm going to have one of my kids help me out. They're going to drive the dump truck, and I'm going to try to load it up, and let's have a little excavation job site going. Okay guys, so we're here in the yard with the excavator and the dump truck, and what I've got going here is we're going to do a multitude of things. I went ahead and put an FPV camera just right on the kind of driver's view of the excavator, so I'm going to be using the Fat Sharks with that. It's just a mini FPV camera, and I'll have this in the link in the description if you're interested in doing something like this to your stuff. But it's just a little 1S battery with a little monopole FPV camera there, and then I've also got the Fat Sharks here, which I'll be recording so you can see this view occasionally. I'm also recording on the Canon, so you'll be able to see a nice side view. I've got my son Kian over here helping me drive the dump truck here, so I'm going to load him up. We're having our cesspool septic tank pumped and tomorrow, so this would be a perfect time. We had to uncover the lids, so this would be a perfect time, since we have these piles of dirt here, to test these guys out. So let's go ahead and get started, fire these things up. First I'll go over the controls while I'm loading some dirt up in the truck, and then we'll be switching to different views and stuff so you can kind of get the full effect of how these guys perform. Okay, so we're powered up, ready to go. The cool thing about this tractor is it's got the sound effects, so this is pretty awesome. So Kian's got the dump truck, he's just going to be kind of waiting for me to load it up a bit, and then we're going to go ahead and he's going to dump it in this hole here, and I'll be switching between the views as stated. Then I'll go ahead and throw on the FPV goggles in a second once I get them loaded up a bit. So let's go ahead and just show you how the controls work here and start digging. Once it kind of maxes out, it starts clicking. So it's got this little, anti-strip mechanism that just starts clicking so you don't destroy your tractor. So you can see that it doesn't have a huge amount of power, so you're going to have to kind of go up a little, while you, like for the scoop here, is I'm having to go up a little while I go ahead and scoop it. But it is working fairly well. It'd probably be a little bit better in sand. There we go. So we got a good scoop of dirt here. I'm going to go ahead and it might take you a little while to get used to the controls. Let's go ahead and put this scoop in the truck. Go forward just a little bit. There we go. Go ahead and dump this out. Nice. See if we can go a little faster now that we're getting the hang of it. I'm doing both of these down at the same time when I'm scooping. You can see that we're getting a much bigger scoop like that. And I'm going to go ahead and raise up. And go ahead and dump it out over the truck here. Nice. Cool, so this is really working well. I can see how, a kid or even an adult is going to have so much fun with this thing. I was playing with this thing for actually a couple hours in the house before this, just because it's so fun to play with. So you can see how I'm pushing down, giving it some thrust, and the tractor's actually coming up off the ground a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and use both of these bottom ones here to kind of get me a good scoop of dirt. And you can see how it is kind of starting to strip a little bit. It's anti-strip mechanisms kicking in. So I'm letting off some of the pressure off the main arm. And then I'm kind of continuing to scoop. So I can get a nice big scoop here. Look at that. Cool. So I want to make sure both of these are all the way down, so I have a nice good tight bucket full, and then I'm going to start lifting it up a little. Come over. Nice. We're going to unload into this truck. Ooh. That's working really well. I'm going to go ahead and throw the FPV goggles on real quick and just see if I can possibly control it and give you that FPV screen of mine that I'm seeing. Okay, so got this thing recording. So this is going to be kind of a first for me. I've never used an excavator FPV before, so we'll see how this works out. Okay, let's go ahead and scoop some dirt. Looks like we're getting a little bit of breakup. I had to flip the camera upside down because it was the wrong way, but so a little tough to see, but let's see what we can do. Let's get this all the way up. Go ahead and get a bucket all the way out. Come on down into the dirt. Wow, this is pretty awesome. Let's do a little scoop here. Wow. Look at that. So stripping a little bit, so let's bring it up. Continue our grab. There we go. Cool, so you see I have the dirt there. Let's go ahead and bring the arm up. All the way up, rotate to the left. Ooh, this is neat. So this gives you kind of the idea of how it would feel to work an excavator. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dump this thing out. This is where it gets a little sketchy to know exactly where the truck is because the depth of field is a little tough. But I'm going to just chance it about here. And then go ahead and release this bucket. Maybe a little higher. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Try one more time and then Kian's going to take the truck away and dump it. Okay, let's get this arm all the way out and up. And come on down. Neat, man. Scoop this dirt. Okay, got a full bucket. Go ahead and go up. Love the sound effects on this thing. Pretty awesome. Looks like we got some roots in this one. Okay, let's release it. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and let Kian go ahead and take this thing over and dump it in that hole. Go ahead, Kian, see what you can do with it. I'm gonna follow him with the FPV camera as he goes over. Remember, you got to back into that hole, right? Both sticks forward are forward. A little tough in the grass. There you go. So just get directly in front of it and then back in. Okay, now just when you get to the hole, just stop it there. And I'm going to make sure you're set up good. Okay, I'll stop right there for a sec. Okay, Kian, go ahead and dump the truck. Just get it all the way up and let go. Okay, and can you see how the can you see if the dirt got emptied out? Oh, it's not emptying? Okay, you may have to go back and forward really quick when it's all the way up. So get it all the way up. There you go. So it dumped out. Nice. Now come on back for another load. Cool. Try to go on this time, actually come on the other side. Behind the excavator. Yeah, back in behind it. I'm gonna load you up that way. So the cool thing about this excavator too, guys, is it's got the sound effects are pretty awesome. It's got this like tank sound to it. So when you are driving, let's go ahead and drive it just for a second. I want to try to see how much stuff this thing can go over. So let's do a little bit of a adventure drive over the dirt and go ahead and get it back so it's facing forward. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a little adventure drive. I'm gonna go around the dirt here. And here we go. So going forward. Looks like my FPV camera is getting a little crooked. Let me go ahead and fix that FPV camera. There we go, that's better. So Kian, why don't you go ahead and go in front of me. I'm just gonna go around this pile this way. And I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can climb over it. You know what I mean? Okay, so there goes Kian. So turn around. Oh, so having a little bit of trouble turning in the grass. Just a little bit, but it is working. So what I want to do is just see if we can climb up this dirt. So I'm in FPV mode driving this thing right now. So this might be kind of sketchy, but it's pretty cool. Oh, okay, so we flipped it. Okay, so probably what I should do is bring the arm down, so that the arm isn't making it top heavy. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring the arm in like that, and then try to drive over this thing as much as possible with FPV. I think we're a little bit stuck here. Try a different angle. Whoa! Don't want to fall. Woo. Bring down the arm a little bit so we're not so top heavy. See how far we can get. Okay, we're kind of losing traction. Looks like I got a dirt clod like right in the front of it. There we go. Almost there. So this thing can handle some rough dirt going on here. Come on, can we make it to the top? Can we possibly make it? Not quite, I don't think. Looks like it gets kind of hung up. And then you can hear the track. The track kind of starts to strip if it gets all clogged up. So looks like that's as far as I'm gonna kind of get. Try one more time. It kind of feels like this track is getting buggered up with dirt, so you can hear it stripping there. Let's go on back. Can you come back? Are you stuck? Okay, why don't you go fix it and then oh, you want me to pull you out? Okay. I'm gonna try to pull Kian out of this situation. Okay, we're gonna come around the back of Kian here. Try to rescue him out. Oh, it looks like the tank track's coming off. Okay, so the right tank track's coming off. Okay, so you can see the tank track actually pulled itself off. Should be an easy fix though. That's just from the dirt and the rock. Yeah, so just had to kind of reseat it on here, and it should be okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the FPV goggles, and since we kind of got a taste of how that is, and let's just go ahead and concentrate on rescuing Kian out of this situation, and then getting on back to doing some more excavation. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can pull him out. Extending the arm out, bring it on down. Okay, and so you ready to go back in? Okay, I'm pulling back. Come on back. There you go. Okay. Whoa! A little bit too much. Cool. So we used the excavator to rescue the dump truck. Okay, now try to come back around the front. So you can hear that tank track sound effects. That's pretty awesome. So Kian, why don't you come right over here in front of me? Actually, let me do some dirt right into the hole. Let me try to see if I can get it right into this hole here. I'm just gonna partially go on the dirt. like this. And then let's go ahead and scoop this up and see how it does. Okay, go all the way up and out. Let's get a big scoop of dirt here. See how that's working? It's looking really good. Starting to get a little too much for it. Go ahead and bring the arm up a little bit. Okay, there's a scoop of dirt. Let's go ahead and dump it in this hole. Okay, get some more dirt. There we go. Ian's over there playing on the sidewalk with the with the dump truck. The cool thing about this is you can actually do multiple actions at the same time, multiple channels. So I could be turning it while I'm turning the tank. You see that? How I can do multiple things if I wanted to. Let's go ahead and get close to this edge and dump it. Okay, so I'm right on the edge here. Let's go ahead and dump it. Awesome. Cool. Let's see how deep this thing can go. So I'm on the edge of this hole. I want to see how low I can make this arm go. Let's go ahead and go all the way down. Wow, so I can reach down lower than the actual excavator. And let's try to grab part of this wall here. So if anything, that would be the thing that's sort of lacking on this one, is there's just not a whole lot of torque on the motors that are in the bucket and the arm. Know what I mean? So right now I'm kind of hooked on the grass. And you can hear it, everything's kind of doing its fail-safe, you know, anti-strip type of deal. I'm gonna try to go back and pull this free. There we go. Back up. Just got a little bit of dirt here, but pretty neat. Now we can see the extent here. See, that's as far as I can turn it. I'm gonna go all the way and show you how far it can actually spin. So it's like you can do one, it's like you can do 1.5 rotations around its base. You can also do like if you need to pat something down. See that? Using the weight. So the bucket is metal, so you have that weight on the bucket. You can hear it's doing its stripping thing again. So that would be the only con for me on this one. Everything else is super cool. It's just that the joints are a little weak as far as the power in the joints, which is, you know, reasonable because this is just a cheap toy. Way cool. All right, Kian, why don't you go ahead and dump that? Get as close as you can. Yeah. So you're. Awesome. Okay, so let's do an example of a flip over to how to save a truck. So just stay right about there for the moment. Okay, so for example, say his truck is on the side there. Now let's see if we can rescue him. Oh. Maybe he's upside down. Okay, he's upside down. Let's scoop him up. Extending everything all the way out. Bringing him on down. Nice. Okay, so we just saved our partner, and now he can go trucking. See if he can drive, Kian. There you go. Awesome. So as a last test, I want to see if I can lower myself into this hole. This should be kind of cool. So I'm going to get this thing down, and I want to get this thing so it's like hooking me onto the ground while I back up. Probably gonna fall, but we'll just see how it goes. Okay. Lower myself into this hole. Whoa, careful! Careful! It's like right on the edge. All right, we didn't fall backwards. Cool. Okay, so I'm in the hole. Cool, let me try to drive around in this sewer hole for a second. This is way cool. So hopefully you guys can see this. The camera's on it, but so I'm in this hole here. Let me see if I can get myself out of here now. Get the arm all the way up. Everything's up. Let's go ahead and climb up as high as we can first. Start lowering the arm for some center of gravity change. Okay, that's about as far as I can go with the tracks. I'm going to try to pull myself while I'm going forward. See how this works. I don't know if this is going to be possible. I don't think that's going to work. Let's try it one more time. Arm down as we go forward. Almost, man. Can almost do it, but not quite. It's not quite enough power. Whoa! Oh, look at that, Ken. Holy smokes. I did it. Okay. So that is one of the things about an excavator. They can pull themselves out of holes like that. That was way cool. Look at that. I'm out of that big old hole. I don't know if you guys can see how big that hole is. That's a good like 8 inches deep. Maybe close to 10. Let's see again how far we can get up this hill one more time. Just trying. Go down a little with our arm, change our center of gravity. There we go. All right, all the way over. Cool. Over the hill. So pretty impressed with these guys, these toys. You can have a lot of fun. It seems to me like constant use like this, you're gonna be lasting maybe, you know, gosh, this is like gonna be a half hour about that we're playing with these things, but it seems like you could probably drive them for about an hour without having to charge it again with the charger that they come with. Here, let me try to push you over, Ken. Oh, the track's coming off again. So another little bit of a con here, the track kind of comes off when you get in the dirt. But that's not really a big deal. You can see actually there's a bunch of dirt and mud in the track, so that's actually reasonable that the track's coming off because the mud's getting, you know, in the teeth here. So I'm not going to really knock it too much for that. You just got to clear it out. So that would be the only con. If you're playing in kind of wet, this is kind of wet dirt, you're gonna get these track issues, but in sand you shouldn't get these kind of issues at all. I just don't have any sand around here. Okay, track's back on. Let me go ahead and try to push you out, Ken. Or push you up and over. There you go. Are you gonna fall in the pit? Wait, go forward. Just stay going forward. I think you're stuck. I'm kind of stuck too. Okay, this would be a good way to see if I can pull you out. So don't turn your wheels anymore because you're gonna get more stuck. I'm gonna go ahead and try to rescue you from the front if I can. Okay. Hold on. Okay, now come forward. Okay, keep driving forward. Hold on. I don't want to fall over with you. Just keep slowly driving forward. Okay. Let me release you a little bit. Hold on. Okay, keep driving forward. Keep coming forward. Keep coming forward. All right. Rescue success. That was awesome. Okay. Come on back over here. Let's not get stuck again. Listen to that sound. That's awesome. Okay, guys. Well, I think that's going to do it for the excavator and the truck. Cool. The HUINA combo here. Again, I'll have the links down in the description of these guys so you can check them out if you want. Overall, let's go run through a pros and cons on these guys. You kind of saw everything in that extensive review. A pro is it's got a die-cast metal bucket on the excavator, and that's about it. On the truck, it doesn't have any die-cast parts as far as I could see. The truck is a little limited You know, it can drive around in this short grass, but it can't really drive in anything but that. The dump mechanism works well in the truck. The excavator, you can see the track falling off once in a while, but that was only due to the wet dirt accumulating under the track, so I'd imagine it would be doing fine in sand or more of a dry dirt. These joints here, they seem like they work really good, but when you do overload them, they can't take too much power on them, or else they start doing that anti-strip type of deal. So that's the only problem. It actually feels like the battery just kind of died. I can't control it anymore. So that's basically the extent of the battery. I'll go ahead and have the timings up for the excavator. It looks like he and Struck's still moving around because he was mostly waiting for me to load him up. Let's see, other pros and cons. The sound effects are awesome. So you've got full sound effects with it idling, when you're moving the arm around, when you're rotating, it's kind of all different sound effects. And then when you're driving, it gives you that kind of like that tank track squeaky wheel sound. That's really cool. And then the FPV, you can easily put a little FPV system on it and kind of have a first-person view FPV if you wanted to. You know, get some cheap goggles, or the goggles I have are the Fat Sharks, and get that going for you. Anyway guys, I hope you liked the review, and don't forget, I will have this stuff down in the description in the links down there, so you can check out the current pricing and more in-depth specs on these two guys here. Anyway, I hope you liked the review, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.